We are closer than we have ever been to victory. Some are already calling it the greatest victory in the history of mankind. We got him. Go!
Got the beast. 2 Suburbans right outside. President's on the move. Beast!
I'm here to negotiate the surrender of the president. Can the president be entrusted into your safe care?
We'll take real good care of him. Just bring him out here.
Ma'am, the president is willing to...
Gunner, point! Check! Moving! Wait! I need a quote. Don't let him kill me. Yeah. That'll do.
The movie begins with the U.S. president making a speech about what he calls the greatest victory in the history of mankind after ceasing power, running for a third term, and engulfing the country into a civil war. His authoritarian federal government is, however, embattled by secessionist movements. At this time, the president has disbanded the FBI, equally ordering airstrikes against his own citizens. The U.S. dollar has crashed in value, and the Canadian dollar is now being used in the country. Lee Smith, a jaded veteran war photographer, sees an explosion just outside her hotel window. The following day, Lee is accompanied by Joel, her journalist colleague, to a peaceful protest where citizens demand for water. Joel meets Tony, his friend who is also a journalist. The protest turns violent, causing the police to fight back. While Lee takes some pictures, she spots a young journalist who takes a hit to her face while closely capturing the fight. Lee runs towards her and helps her out of the area. The girl's name is Jessie, and she identifies Lee as her role model. Lee gives her a press vest. The young lady is spotted with a bag about leaving, and a few moments later, people take off. Then a bomb goes off amidst the crowd, killing hundreds of people who initially came out to protest peacefully. Lee goes in to capture what remains of the carnage. After suffering the suicide bombing in New York City, Lee and Joel eventually meet up with their mentor Sammy in a bid to discuss their plan to interview the isolated and authoritarian president. From their conversation, they seek to leave for D.C. first thing in the morning to enable them arrive there before anyone else. However, Sammy dissuades them from this, saying that it's extremely dangerous due to high levels of risk and tension at the capital, which is already ravaged by war. Lee insists that she wants to go photograph the president while Joel interviews him. Sammy insists that they shoot journalists on site at the Capitol, but Joel states that they have to do it because there has not been a single interview in 14 months. Jessie sees them while the conversation continues. Sammy says he'll join them in the morning but is going as far as Charlottesville and no further. Lee goes off to get some rest, and on her way, Jessie confronts her, appreciating Lee for rescuing her literally from the bombing. By morning, all three of them are ready to go when Lee spots Jessie inside their press truck. She calls Joel aside and cautions him for letting Jessie join them, saying it could get really dangerous for her to handle. Joel convinces her to let Jessie begin her career at some point, but Lee only agrees for her to go as far as Charlottesville, not Washington. Obviously, Lee isn't happy about Jessie's act. The journey begins with Joel driving up to the point where a carnage of explosion occurred, destroying multiple vehicles on the highway. They are 857 miles from D.C. when they approach a military checkpoint. Joel is seen having a word with a soldier, after which the long drive continues. After a few hours, the group stops at a gas station to refuel, but unfortunately it is protected by armed civilians. One of them approaches requesting for their fuel permit, which they do not have, and are refused. Lee offers the armed man 300 Canadian dollars for half a tank in 2 gallons, and he agrees. While obtaining gas, the curious Jessie steps off the car, saying she saw something just by the road. She ends up going towards the back of the gas station and is followed by another young armed civilian. Lee is forced to follow them, and they arrive at a nearby car wash where they find out that the armed men are torturing 2 illegal looters. Eddie, the younger armed man, explains to Lee what happened before they tortured them. He proceeds to shoot them, but Lee diffuses the situation by taking a photo of Eddie posing with his victims. Lee asks Joel to pull over, then takes Jessie with her towards a crashed helicopter scene. She asks Jessie to take multiple shots of the aircraft, which is usually rare to spot around on a normal day. After taking shots, Jessie apologizes to Lee for jamming her way to their ride, but Lee states that she isn't angry and sincerely doesn't care about what Jessie does or do not know. She emphasizes that there is no version of her act that isn't a mistake. Jessie says that it's a personal choice to join them, but Lee reminds her that she will remember that when she loses her cool, gets blown up or even shot. The group make an overnight stop near an ongoing fighting zone, 508 miles from DC. Joel notices that the gunshots are getting intense and tries to convince Lee and Sammy to go take a look, but Lee refuses to go near the area in the dark of night and promises Joel that if the fighting is still on by morning, they'll check it out. The group retires for the night, and in the morning the fight is still ongoing as they join a team of secessionist militiamen to assault a Loyalist-held building while they document the combat by taking pictures. One of them is trapped in the gun battle and takes several hits while trying to escape the corner. Together, they rescue their teammate and tend to his injuries, after which they successfully take out what remains of the Loyalist, taking them prisoner towards a hall where they execute them all. The group drives off to West Virginia, where they find a refugee camp 289 miles from DC. They park their vehicle, and Lee goes to get some food, after which she finds a nice spot to watch and relax. Jessie finds Lee and shows her the picture she took of the secessionist executing the military Loyalist. Lee appreciates and recognizes Jessie's potential as a war photographer and begins to mentor her. They spend the night at the refugee camp, and the following day, they go through a small town where residents attempt to live in blissful ignorance of the ongoing war. The group are in shock to see an open clothes store, and Joel reminds the sales girl that there is actually an ongoing war. The lady knows but says that they just try to stay out, knowing that it's for the best. Jessie helps Lee to try on some new clothes, after which she takes beautiful pictures of her. Now back on the road, they run into an isolated Christmas fair setup where they make a stop, contemplating if they should pass through or not. Sammy suggests another route since the area seems too calm, but on an attempt to pass, a sniper takes multiple shots at them, causing Joel to hide the car behind a truck for shelter, and the group steps out of the car. They spot nearby snipers who are trying to get the opposing sniper before he gets them. The group are now caught in a sniper battle amidst the remains of a Christmas fair. Jessie's nerve and photography skills improves as she becomes increasingly desensitized to violence. Eventually, the opposing sniper is eliminated and they get back on the road. While Lee is driving, she notices a truck following them in a creepy and terrifying manner. They opt to let the truck overtake them, but then it turns out to be two foreign reporters whom Joel knows and is incredibly excited to see. They tease and mock each other, wondering what they are doing in that area. Tony jumps from his truck into their truck while the car is in motion. It seems funny to him, though. Jessie gets excited by this and opts to do the same. She switches vehicles and joins Bohai, Tony's friend, driving the other truck. Bohai drives off ahead, speeding completely out of sight, causing the group to worry about where they went. While looking for Bohai and Jessie, they almost run into an incoming truck. It is truly a close one, but they get back on the road. Eventually, they catch up with their vehicle, which seems deserted for a minute. The group gets off only to find Bohai and Jessie held at gunpoint by unknown uniformed militia, who are seen burying civilians in a mass grave. Lee, Joel, and Tony approach the armed men while Sammy stays behind. The three of them arrive in an attempt to negotiate their release, but they are confronted by the leader of the militia, who interrogates them about which side they are on. He executes Bohai instantly merely because he is a foreigner. Jessie almost pisses her pants. He approaches Tony asking where he is from, and Tony, who is already scared to death, replies saying Hong Kong, getting himself killed. The leader proceeds to shoot Joel when Sammy runs them over. Jessie falls into the mass grave and is rescued by Joel, after which they escape the area before more militia arrives. Jessie is so terrified that she pukes in the car. They make a stop after Sammy confesses that he took a bullet while escaping the militiamen. Joel takes over the wheel. Traumatized, they arrive at a Western force base in Charlottesville, discovering that most of the Loyalists have surrendered, leaving Washington defended only by fanatical remnants of the armed forces and Secret Service. Sammy eventually dies from the gunshot wound. Joel and Lee meet with two other foreign journalists, and Joel drunkenly lashes out at what he sees as Sammy's pointless death. Lee goes to find Jessie attempting to console her, saying that Sammy would have liked to die on the job. Lee, Joel, and Jessie embed themselves with the Western forces while they assault Washington, as Jessie is seen repeatedly endangering herself during the gun battle, just to capture photographs while Lee combats with fatigue from all that running, hiding and squatting. When the Western forces successfully breach the White House, the presidential limo flees, but not for too long, as it is immediately intercepted and its passengers executed just outside the White House. The group sees this as a distraction and quickly heads inside the White House, closely followed by 5 Western Forces soldiers. While they infiltrate the White House, they come across a young woman who attempts to negotiate the president's surrender and safe passage, but they shoot her, proceeding to engage what's left of the Secret Service agents who are still guarding the president. In the heat of the moment, Jessie steps into the line of fire while taking photos. Lee immediately pushes Jessie to safety but gets shot in the process, while Jessie captures her death as multiple Secret Service bullets eliminate her. Jessie unemotionally proceeds to the Oval Office, watching as the soldiers grab the president, then Joel halts them just in time before they kill him. Joel asks for a quote from the president, who replies, "Don't let them kill me." Jessie takes multiple shots as the president is shot, ending his authoritarian leadership. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated for more contents like this. Thanks for watching.